Ryan, what do you want to see from your club on Friday night? I mean, do you have a plan on how long you're going to play your starters?
Yeah, so I want our starters to get a good quarter and a half, potentially two. Just really looking for them to get in a rhythm, and I feel comfortable where they're at. We're executing at a high level. Let's get them off the field and just get them ready for week one. And then at the end of the game, more competition with some of our younger guys.
Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Ryan, thanks a lot, Ryan. Ryan, yesterday you mentioned practice was sloppy. How was today's session?
Today was great. I know the players had their kind of own meeting, kind of keeping the locker room tight and kind of their expectations and where we're going as a football club. So those guys came out today and both sides of the ball had really good days. And I was pretty impressed by their work ethic and the execution.
Do you know who the leaders were that held that team meeting?
No, I don't know. That's for the team. So I stay out of those things. They just said they wanted one. So I said, that's fine. We pushed back meetings 5 or 10 minutes yesterday's afternoon practice. So yeah, I mean, it's good that those guys are, taking accountability of the locker room. Like, coaches, we gotta get the structure in the right direction. Those guys will be accountable in the locker room. So good teams, coaches have to handle some of that thing. Great teams, they handle it in the locker room.
Sorry, Ryan, I don't want to sound cynical. It's very rare to have a team only meeting during training camp. Was it just like just too many sloppy practices for a veteran team?
Just how we responded to some adversity. And I everywhere I've been, there's always been one of those days in camp. And these guys are tired of beating up on each other, tired of practicing against each other. They want to play in a live game. So, we have the pads on. Sometimes things are going to happen. So I wouldn't look at it as not an issue at all.
I get it. So Ryan, you have this kid, AJ, from your alma mater. What kind of camp has he been having?
Yeah, he's just been making plays. The ball keeps finding him. He's sharp on his assignments. He knows what he's doing. Very savvy football player. So he's done some really good things for us.
How'd you guys, find out about him? How long you guys had him on your radar?
Yeah, well, I got a phone call, and then he reached out to me. He was, looking for the NFL window. Felt like it was closing, and then Cliff Kingsbury, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, called me on his behalf. So we got it done in one day.
Wow. No, I think you have a relationship with Coach Kingsbury, don't you, Ryan?
Yeah, we play together in Winnipeg, and so we talk from time to time. And it was awesome that he reached out to me and try to really push AJ as being a player that can help us. So I think you get an NFL head coach that end up cutting a guy and say, hey, we wish we could have him on board. He's a heck of a football player. Just him calling out and reaching out to me, shows the kind of character AJ has and the type of player he was for the coach to call on his behalf.
Is AJ? Does he have a legitimate chance of making the team, Ryan?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's about 2 or 3 rookie receivers. We'll see how it's going to play out, but I think everybody's got a chance to make the club. We like competition. We want these younger guys to push our veterans and try to take some jobs, and so we'll see what's going to happen on game day.
Ryan, yesterday you when I asked you about Brandon Banks, you mentioned his IQ and how he picked up the offense so quickly. How long does it usually take a receiver to learn your offense?
Yeah, this one's pretty complicated. It takes these guys some time, but he picked it up like day one. It was pretty impressive. So younger guys are starting to pick it up too. They're starting to play faster. You can see they're more decisive in their decision making. Understanding route depths and when to sit in holes and zone, when to keep on the move. So it's coming together for the young guys as well. But Brandon, he's been pretty impressive. He's got that juice. You've seen today, he had a nice go ball, ran by somebody. He's been doing that consistently in camp. So I've been pretty pleased with Speedy.
Do you see him as like the Speedy B, or is he sort of morphing into a different receiver?
I think it's still Speedy B. I got to do some more research on the bye week, kind of look at some of his receptions that he had in Hamilton, been talking with him about some of the schemes that he likes and want to put him in positive situations. So we didn't really game plan our camp stuff for him. We just kind of ran our stuff, and we'll move him around and put him in spots where he can be successful.
And as for Friday, you think he's going to get a lot of reps?
We'll see. He's going to go with the first group just like all the rest of the guys. So I'm hoping at least get a quarter and a half, maybe 2. We're going to kind of see how the game's flowing. We got to get our reps, and so we're not on the field a ton. I'll probably play in the first 2 quarters.
And Ryan, lastly, obviously you guys got to figure out what to do in the return game. Are you still going to, use as many returns as possible to figure out who the best guy is for you?
Yeah, no question. We're gonna have probably about 4 or 5 guys rotating in there, and so some of the younger kids didn't really get a good opportunity last week. We got to make sure they get some touches. So it's tough to judge returns unless you see them live. So hopefully we get some good punts where those guys can actually catch it when the ball's not on the ground.
Thanks, Ryan.
Ryan, you talked earlier in camp about Andrew Harris. You've had him now for the better part of 2 weeks. What have you seen from him?
Andrew's been great. Pass protections, he understands. He helps out the O-line when he can see the secondary shell kind of showing pressure. He's great out of the backfield, sign of sound, and he's got that second level burst still. When he's running on and we get through the first level, we're going to have some chunk runs, and that's something we lacked last year.
I'm wondering what he brings to the offense in terms of a veteran leadership too.
Well, I think a ton, and the culture that they've had at Winnipeg the last 2 years, those guys are a tight knit group and they run their locker room. And if the guys don't fit in, the veteran leader is going to kind of let them know. So he's one of those guys that, he brings that winning pedigree. It's something you can't teach, and he has that. So I'm looking forward to him adding that to our locker room.
Last question, if I may. You go in as the defending East Division first place champions. People know now what to expect from this club. Do you feel that there's a target on this club's back?
I wouldn't say necessarily target. I think that, last year, everybody kind of, I guess, underestimated us. They had us pick 7th, I think, out of 19. So, which was great. That was a great situation to be in, right? So you're kind of on the radar. So now we set the bar last year, and we gotta get better. And last year we were close, but we're not close enough. So the details and discipline kind of caught up to us last year. That's been our focus in camp, is just cleaning those things up, coming together as a team, having a little bit more leadership, and a little bit of what we say is respondability. If things don't go our way, how are we going to respond?
Do you find this year with the new rules changes that having a kicker like Morris is going to help you? Because I can envision more field goal attempts this year.
Yeah, I hope we don't have as many field goals as we had last year, but I think just moving the kickoff back 5 yards in Morris's leg is going to be huge. Now you miss field goals and they're going to get the ball in the 40. So are we going to take some of those longer field goals? Potentially, they're going to take a single, they get the ball in the 40. We'll see how it's going to play out, but I think his leg is going to help us out with the rules.
And how does the hash fit into your offense and moving the hashes in?
Yeah, it's been a kind of we're kind of learning as we go, right? So we have our concepts. We put our split rules in, how we're going to line up with the new hashes. Then we've adjusted a few concepts. So, hey, we need to be a little bit wider, maybe a little tighter here. So there's a few concepts we used to run to the field, and now it's condensed. And so we kind of got rid of about 4 or 5 field concepts. Just didn't really fit the new hashes. So we're learning as we're going. We're adjusting on the run.
Last question, if I may. This year, the CFL has implemented the diversity program. Every team has a female guest coach. What's your thoughts on the program and how it's worked out for you guys so far?
Yeah, we were open to it. I was just like across the league, everybody has been. So yeah, we're open to it. Anything we can help someone develop or maybe help someone get a job in this business, we're here to help.